Welcome to the Sales Salvos. We trust that you'll be blessed by this week's video.
How many of you follow along in your Bibles when we do the Bible reading? Does anyone have a Bible? No? Alright. It might actually be helpful to, if I can request, in future weeks, no, nothing else, right? In future weeks, if you can actually read through with the Bible, do that. So I find it so helpful myself. And I was challenged about 15, 20 years ago by one of my officers. Get your Bible out, read it with us, take notes even. And it actually helped me grow so much. So if that's something that can be helpful for you, please do that too, because I'm going to hopefully, if I do the right thing, actually go through the scripture properly, break it down. If you read it, it might actually help you. I know it helps me so much, but it's just a thought. We are looking today at taking up our cross and what that means. You might have heard sermons around this and what it might mean, but I wanted to start by reading something I found on the internet, which isn't always true, but this one is, I'm pretty sure. It starts with the question, what did Jesus mean when he said, take up your cross and follow me? Let's begin with what Jesus didn't mean. Many people interpret cross as some burden that they must carry in their lives. A strained relationship maybe, a thankless job, a physical illness. With self-pity and pride they say, that's my cross, I have to carry it. Such an interpretation is not what Jesus meant when he said, take up your cross and follow me. When Jesus carried his cross up to Golgotha to be crucified, no one was thinking of a cross as a symbolic of a burden to carry. To a person in the first century, the cross meant one thing and one thing only: death by the most painful and humiliating means human beings could develop. 2,000 years later, Christians view the cross as a cherished symbol of atonement, forgiveness, grace, and love. But in Jesus' day, the cross represented nothing but torturous death. Because the Romans forced convicted criminals to carry their own crosses to the place of their crucifixion, bearing a cross meant carrying their own execution device while facing ridicule along the way to death. Therefore, take up your cross and follow me means being willing to die in order to follow Jesus. This is called dying to self. It's a call of absolute surrender. After each time Jesus commands cross-bearers, he said, for whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for me will save it. What good is it for a man to gain the whole world and yet lose or forfeit his very self? Although the call is tough, the reward is matchless. Does that make any sense? The world we live in today is such a selfish world, isn't it? Everything you see on TV, everything everyone even talks about and encourages other people to do it, it's all about ourselves. It's so selfish. I find myself getting caught up in it too. Even with my family, I find myself being so selfish sometimes. It's about me. And I think almost our human flesh tells us to do that, doesn't it? Our human flesh is almost programmed to think about us first. It's about me. It's about me. You see ads on TV, you see programs, you see TV shows. It's all about putting ourselves first, isn't it? It's not about sacrifice at all. It's about putting ourselves first. We are in such a self-centered world, and it is all about us. And how often does that get in the way of us doing God's work? Jesus, we just read about giving us all for Jesus, surrendering all for Jesus. It doesn't help happen very much. Even me as the officer, as the pastor, whatever you want to call it, it happens to all of us. We get caught up in being selfish. And it makes me sick. I hate it. But it's almost programmed into my genetics to put myself first. And I know I have to surrender everything for God. I've promised him that I'll give up everything for him. But still my selfishness keeps creeping back. I hate it. But it happens. So often, it gets in the way of me doing God's work. So often. So what does this mean about dying to self? I need to die to self, I know that. And I want to take on my cross and follow Jesus. But it's not that simple, is it? It never is that simple. And it's so easily to say, I'll give up everything for you, Jesus. You can have those moments at the mercy seat or at commissionings or whatever it is. People go in and says, I'll give up everything for you, Jesus, and the next day, you're back to normal. It happens so often, doesn't it? It happens. It just is the way we work. But I think we need to see the bigger picture, not just what we can see in our own minds, whatever. We need to see the bigger picture, God's picture, don't we? And I think that will start helping us to see the world as we know it. Funny thing, have you ever heard this? Surrender equals freedom. It doesn't make sense in the natural, does it? But with God's kingdom is an upside-down kingdom. The world is all about us. If you flip it upside down, that's how God's kingdom is. Because surrender actually equals freedom. Because you'll be free of yourself, you'll be free of your selfishness, you'll actually be free in God's kingdom. And that's the kingdom we want to be free in. But to do that, we have to surrender ourselves in the natural. Hopefully that makes a bit of sense. Surrender equals freedom. And God's kingdom is the upside down kingdom from what this earth is, what this world's kingdom is. Flipped upside down. Everything's backwards to what God's kingdom teaches and should be. So in today's reading, Matthew 16, verse 21, it starts by saying, from that time on, Jesus began to explain to his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things at the hands of the elders, chief priests and teachers of the law. He must be killed on the third day and be raised back to life. If you were Jesus' disciples, hearing that, him sort of suggesting this a few times, would have, what are you doing? What is this? You're supposed to be the great king. You can't be handed over to the king, to the rulers and all those guys and be killed. It probably wouldn't even compute in their minds, did it? It would have been very confusing. Verse 22. Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. Peter rebuked Jesus. I wouldn't have had the guts to do that. He said, "Never, Lord," he said, "this shall never happen to you." The great teacher, the one who was so wise and above everyone else, and Peter went up to him and said, "Never. It's not going to happen. What you're saying is not true. It can never be true." He didn't have the bigger picture, did he? Just Peter didn't get the perspective on what Jesus was saying. He didn't understand the kingdom things that were about to happen and what needed to happen. He just didn't have the perspective. He didn't understand what was actually supposed to be happening. In verse 23, Jesus turns and said to Peter, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me, and you do not have in mind the things of God, but the things of men." Jesus was flesh too. He was tempted. He could have easily listened to Peter and said, "You're right, I don't need to go through this." Jesus actually, in the Garden of Gethsemane, said, I can't do this. This is too hard, too much for the physical side of him. And he could have listened to Peter there and said, "Yeah, you're right, Peter. This can't happen. I'm not going to let this happen." But he said, "No, get behind me. You're not thinking about the things of the kingdom. You're thinking of things of men." And that's what we do, isn't it? So often, because it's the things that are most in our face, the first thing in our face, everywhere we look, is the physical world, and the things of men. We've got it in our faces, in our eyes all the time. We read about it, we see it on TV, we read about it on billboards, we talk about it with people in the world. The things of men are the first thing that we always talk about, isn't it? Even as Christians, we talk about the things of man all the time. But Jesus said to him, "You do not have in mind the things of God, but the things of men." And I think Peter actually meant well, didn't he? Peter actually meant well, but we need to have that. We need to change our mind frames, don't we? We need to change from thinking about the things of men and putting the kingdom of God first in our minds. And that's not always easy. It's something that comes naturally to us. We have to intentionally put the things of God first. Have you done that in the last week? Even think about the last week. How many times have you thought about the things of man first? Probably 98% of the time. Yeah, it happens. Maybe in the next week we can think about this and reprogram ourselves, think about and put first the things of God. So we actually have that right perspective, the kingdom perspective, and see how things are different. Things will be completely different, I can tell you. I promise you, you'll see things you've never seen before, and actually get things. Even just before this part of Scripture, Peter just confessed that Jesus was Lord. Jesus was the Messiah. He sort of got some of it, didn't he? So if you look back in the Bibles later, in the same chapter from verse 13, Peter actually gets it and says, Jesus, I know that you are Christ, you are the Messiah. And you see him here saying, no, this will never happen to Jesus, this will never happen. He sort of gets it, but then he backtracks and loses it, doesn't he? It's interesting that you have these awakening moments of actually Jesus is what he says he is. He really is God. But then he thinks he knows better. It's strange. Verse 23 at the end of the year. You do not have in mind the things of God, but the things of man. See how we go this week? Put the things of God first. Intentionally think about the things of God, rather than all these things that are bombarding us in our faces. Verse 24 is where it starts getting pretty big. Then Jesus said to his disciples, if anyone would come after me, he must deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. If anyone would come after me, he must deny himself. And think about that. How many of us are really following after him? If we haven't denied ourselves yet. And taking up our crosses and following him. Verse 26:5, for whoever wants to save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for me will find it. Verse 26, what good would it be for his soul? What good would it be for a man who gains the whole world yet forfeits his soul? How many people do we know that are wanting to inherit this world? Money, wealth, fame, whatever it is. You're going to lose everything. We know 100% of people, 10 out of 10 people die. We're all going to lose our lives, aren't we? The physical lives. What are you investing in? Are you investing in the things of man? The things that I can guarantee you're going to lose? Or are you investing in the things of God? The things you will inherit? It's funny how, because we are spiritual beings in a physical world, everything we see is the physical. We can so easily forget about the things that are unseen in the spiritual world, the things that bring true life, true wealth. But we forget about it. The true things in life we forget about, because it's not the thing we see first in front of us. If anyone will come after me, he must deny himself, take up his cross and follow me. I was thinking about this too. I have this imagery of trying to be in the Bible, in the story, and take up your cross and start following him, but then, it's too much. Just sit on the side of the road, in the dirt, say, nah, I can't do it. It's too hard. Can you see that image? All these people on the side of the road just sitting with their crosses going, nah, I can't take it any further. It's a funny image, isn't it? It's like all these, just a road full of people with crosses sitting on the side going, I gave up 2 weeks ago. It was just too much. I need some water. Can someone bring me some water? It's a funny image, isn't it? Just a whole road full of people with crosses sitting on the side of the road and Jesus up at the front with no one else following him. It's a bit sad, isn't it, really? If he says, if anyone will come after me, he'll take up his cross and follow me. Deny yourself, leave whatever you're doing right now, leave your family, your friends, everything, your work, take it up and follow me. There's a road full of people with crosses sitting on the side that won't get to actually follow him properly. It's sad. But it's not easy either. I understand that. I get it. So what is stopping you from completely surrendering to Jesus? Is there something stopping you from actually picking up your cross properly and following him? Are you on the side of the road in the dust? Or are you actually saying, no, I'm going to do this. Pick up your cross and follow him. Because it does mean sacrifice. It does mean surrender. It's costly. You probably lose friends. You might even have to give up your job. I had to give up my job. Because I heard the call of God on my life. He said, you've got to go become an officer. I had to give up I had a very well-paying job. I was a microbiologist, worked in a lab, working with vaccines. I loved it. But it was costly for me. Say yes to him, I had to take up my cross, leave it all behind, and here I am in Sale. That's a good thing, right? God knows what he's doing. But it is costly. I understand that. You want to come and preach too? this. I can do this kind of tag team. No, you don't need it. Verse 25. For whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for me will find it. Do you ever hear that song, J-O-Y? J-O-Y, this must surely mean Jesus first, yourself last, and others in between? You've never heard that? Some of you have? Joy, J-O-Y. Jesus first, yourself last, and others in between. Putting Jesus first. But I'm not sure about putting yourself last. It's not necessarily about that. There's some good teaching, but I'm not sure I completely agree with it. Because what I mentioned last week about praying for ourselves first, so we actually help other people better. Because we need to look after ourselves too, don't we? You can't put yourself last all the time. It's good about sacrificing yourself, but you can't forget about yourself, or else you'll be of no use, will you? So Jesus first, yourself last, and others in between. I get the idea. Putting other people first. It doesn't mean neglecting yourself. Because if you want to serve God your best, you have to be in good order, don't you? If your soul's falling apart, how are you supposed to take someone where you haven't been yourself? You have to put yourself in the Bible. You have to spend time with God praying. You need to put work into yourself so you can actually be of more use to the kingdom. Does that make sense? Make sure you look after yourself spiritually, so then you can actually bless other people even more. Have you heard of the image of it like a cup and saucer? If God's pouring like water into the teacup and it overflows, that's where we want to be with God. So we can actually be feeding people from the saucer, from our overflow, rather than actually giving out and being empty ourselves. Because if that cup is empty, you've got nothing to give. But God has so much, He can pour out to overflow, so you can be feeding out and giving out to other people from the overflow, from the saucer. That's a great image, isn't it? Spend time with God. Let His joy go overflowing you so that you can give it out and not be empty yourself. Because I don't think God ever meant us to be empty, but to give out from our overflow. Because He has an abundance of wealth. There's never a shortage of God's mercy, God's love, God's grace, is there? God's joy, God's salvation. There's never ever a shortage of that. Gaining the whole world but forfeiting our soul. Put God first. Put the things of the kingdom first. Back in our history of the Salvation Army, William Booth, our founder, everyone knows William Booth? Have you heard of him before? The founder of the Salvation Army wanted to send out a message to all his officers around the world one year, but there was a shortage of money. So he sent one word out to everyone else. Do you know what that word was? He sent out a text to all his officers. All it said was, others. What does that mean?
Care about others.
Yeah. Care about others. It's almost like the greatest commandment, isn't it? Love God, your God, with all your heart, mind, soul, strength. And love your neighbour as yourself. Summed up in one word, others. Well, clearly you've got to put God first. That goes without saying, right? Love God with all that you have. And love your neighbour as you love yourself. Now that doesn't always make sense either, because a lot of people these days don't love themselves. But you get the concept, right? Love your neighbour. You've got to love others. Because God, if you look around this room, God died for every single person in this room. Jesus sacrificed Himself so that we can have freedom here today. Yeah? It's true. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. It's good. The greatest commandment is love God, love others. It's like a vertical and horizontal, isn't it? That's almost what the cross means, isn't it? Vertical and horizontal. Two loves. Jesus died for us as individuals, but He died for everyone else as well. We can't forget our neighbour. If we loved our neighbour as much as Jesus loved our neighbours, things would look very, very different, I think. It would be great. Jesus died for them too. We as a Salvation Army are about salvation. We are a Salvation Army. We want to see everyone come to know Him. We want everyone to know His saving power. That's our primary purpose. The first thing we should be doing is caring about others. bringing the kingdom of God here, everywhere we go. I've mentioned this a few times in the last few weeks. Everywhere we go, take the kingdom of God. Go with God. I've actually wrote my notes here. Stop being caught up in yourself. Because it's so easy to do. And we should have denied ourselves, we should have sacrificed ourselves, died to Him, pick up our cross and follow Him. Stop being so caught up in yourself. Don't take it personally. Don't go away and say, oh, He told me to stop being so. Stop being caught up in yourself. Care about other people too. Deny yourself, take up your cross and follow Jesus. Who knows where it'll lead you, what it will mean for this week. You know how many times have I seen, even us at the Salvation Army, at different events? I remember when growing up in Glenroy, we had a supper or something after the night meeting, we'd have a big event, we'd have a big supper. And while someone was saying the grace, some of the people were already eating the food and chucking it in their mouths. It was so bad. I'm not sure if you've seen that, but how about putting other people first? Others. Let other people go first. Bless them. Maybe even get some food for someone else before you even eat. It was just so embarrassing seeing these people. It was so bad. What about our mission? We're supposed to be putting other people first. We're supposed to be helping people. Sure, we need to look after ourselves, but think about what we're doing. Denying ourselves for the benefit of the world doesn't mean sacrificing or putting ourselves last all the time. But the greatest commandment, love God, love your neighbour. I love that. And we started the self-denial appeal this week, trying to give up 1 week's salary for those who have nothing. That's a massive sacrifice. Can we do it? It's tough. But funny enough, God always provides. Have you found that? Even if you deny yourself something for someone else, God will never let you go without. Test Him in this one. I know it's not good to test God, but it's funny. It happens every time. We'll give a massive sacrifice to something, but we never go without, and God will bless us in some other way. Have you found that too? If you haven't, try it. See what you can do out of your generosity. You'll never go without. God will look after you somehow. I've got so many stories about how God has done that. Even officers back in my home corps from back in the 50s, they had nothing 1 week. They gave away everything they had, and they had a knock at the door, and a lady just gave them a massive parcel of food. She was guaranteed. She was convinced it was an angel. She was convinced. God looks after His people. Guarantee you. If you put other people first, look after your neighbour, love your neighbour as yourself, God will look after you. Yeah. So think about the self-denial this year. How much can you sacrifice? Almost to the point of hurting, for the benefit of our neighbours in surrounding countries. Verse 27. For the Son of Man is going to come in His Father's glory with His angels, and then He will reward each person according to what he has done. We know that He will reward us for what we've done, the way we help each other. But we don't do it because of the reward, do we? But we know we will receive a reward. Don't do it for the reward, just do it because you love Him. If you love God, you'll love His people. You'll care for them because you know the sacrifice He gave for them. He gave His life for everyone. Surely it's enough for us to love them too. Yes. Doing the best with what we have so God can say to us, well done, good and faithful servant. That's what it's about to, isn't it? How great will it be able to hear that God say to us? How great will it be to hear God say to us, well done, good and faithful servant? Because we cared for what He cared for. We sacrificed what He sacrificed for. Take up your cross. Follow Him. Work out what that means for you this week. And if something's in your way, pray about it. Get rid of it if you can. Because you don't want anything standing in the way of you taking up your cross and following Him. Don't end up by the side of the road in the dust with your cross beside you, saying, I couldn't do it. It's a sad image. Funny the way I told it, but it was sad at the same time, isn't it? Take up your cross, follow him. It might mean sacrifice, but well worth it. Well worth it. Let's pray. Father God, we thank you that you love us so much that you sent your Son to sacrifice his life so that we could live. That sacrifice equals freedom for us. Help us to love those who you love. Give us eyes to see the way you see. Let us love the way you love. Give us your heart, give us your eyes, so we can love those around us as you love them completely, God. Help us to take up our crosses, whatever that might mean for each of us. That's probably going to be different for all of us, God. Help us to take up our cross and to follow you, so that we'll reach the finish line as faithful servants of you, God. Help us to bless those around us with our sacrifices. Help us to give up something to bless someone. But help us to take up our cross. As painful as it might be in the long term, we know at the end it's going to be better that we give up those things to follow you than to lose our lives. Lord, speak to us this morning. Holy Spirit, fall on us right now, Lord. Give us clarity of this message. Help us understand what you are saying to us, Jesus, when you tell us to take up our cross and to follow you. Help us to understand. Give us understanding. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.